Hi, today's video lesson, I want to offer you some strategies, a framework of some strategies that will help you to enhance your focus, get more done, be more present, and as a result, maximize your effectiveness. Today, there's an ever-growing interest in mindfulness. And yet, it's really not a new topic. Although in 1973, John Kabat-Zinn was doing the early research, way back in the early 1900s, Martin Heidegger, a German psychologist, talked about in time. That was his thesis. You're probably familiar with Eckhart Tolle and the power of now. When I first started in this work, in this field in 1971, I was familiar with Baba Ramdas or Richard Alpert, who talked about be here now. Regardless of who you study, basically what it means is how to be present so that when you're with your wife, your spouse, your children, when you're with a client, when you're with a dear friend, when you're operating heavy machinery, whatever it is that you're doing, that you're fully present and therefore fully engaged, respecting that person before you, and if you're doing work, not getting hurt or injured, because most injuries occur when people are not paying attention, when they're distracted. So it's a very important aspect for our life. And yet, even when people meditate, the most common complaint is, I have a monkey mind. It's all over the place, racing. I can't keep focused. Sound familiar? Can you relate? Or people come home from work and they want to spend time with their children, quality time, and enjoy them, but they're bringing home work and it's like a burden on their shoulders. It's like, ugh. And they're tuckered out, let alone they're not present with them. It's a common malady that we all face from time to time. I know I have too. It's not easy, let's face it. It can be done. So it is my hope, my intention that when you employ and apply in your life this framework of strategies, just 4 simple strategies, you'll see a noticeable difference in all that you do. So number 1 strategy has to do with permission. And we're going to look at permission in different ways. First of all, yes, you're giving yourself permission not to be perfect, but permission in the sense that, for example, you may have a lot of work. You've decided today's the day, I'm going to handle this, going to clean out the garage, I'm going to tackle this pile of work up on my home desk, whatever it is. And then you get an unexpected call from a friend, someone you really like. You haven't seen them in a while. Hi, I'm here in town. No announcement, no advance warning. And you really want to be with that person, and yet you really want to get to what you needed to get done work-wise. So if we get stuck in that feeling of not giving ourselves permission to, second strategy is reschedule. What's most important to you? If you feel that your top priority is this person, spending time with them, then it almost sounds silly, I agree, to give yourself permission to reschedule. Yes, you've blocked out the time. Yes, this is important. Because if you don't go with that friend and you do the work, you run the risk of feeling regretting. Oh, who knows when I'll see them again. I love them so dearly. There's so much fun I could learn. And you go on through that. And then if you don't give yourself permission to reschedule the work, you run the risk of you with the friend and then resenting them because they didn't give you an announcement, they didn't give you any advance warning, you didn't prepare, and then it's a lose-lose no matter which way you go. So I'm not suggesting that you should not honor what you've blocked out your time, but I am suggesting is for you to prioritize and ask yourself, what's most important here? What's in alignment with my highest values? And to act respect. So if you feel being with the friend is, then you give yourself permission to reschedule. Now, why is this important? It has to do with the power of completions. Have you noticed? If you've been procrastinating, if you've got a lot of unfinished business because you just haven't handled something yet, or you've got a decision to make and you haven't made the decision, if you're not careful, it can suck the life right out of you. It can make you feel and in your head, and you're not going to be present because you're preoccupied. And when you finally make the decision, whether it's an effective decision or not, is another point. However, when you make the decision, what happens? You feel relieved. Of course, I do too. And then it's like a whole different ball game. So sometimes part of what you're doing when you reschedule something is you're not finished, but you are complete for the moment. You're not holding on to guilt. I should be working, or I should be with my friend. You're complete and you're at peace with the decision you've made. That's what I mean by the power of completions. So you've been able to tie in loose ends. I would also recommend, as a little sidebar, if you've got a lot of unfinished business all around you, incompletions, you've started projects and not finished them, notice what happens when you say, today's the day, and you start handling those unfinished projects. When you do, you'll feel wonderful. You'll feel great. You'll have more energy, and it'll motivate you to do even more. The third strategy here is the power of what? Forgiveness. Sometimes we have loose ends, incompletions that drag us down because emotionally we're hanging on to feelings of guilt for something we did or didn't do, or we're emotionally burdened with the feelings of the betrayal, or someone stole something from us, or someone stole our intellectual property, whatever it is. So forgiveness works both ways. It starts at home, right? You want to forgive yourself if you've made a mistake. You also want to forgive that person. And that's not something to be taken lightly. You may need, excuse me, sorry about that. You may need to what? You may need to take your time and repeat it and learn some techniques. And the fourth strategy would be the power of apology. If you've done something wrong, if you've hurt someone, and you rather than regret it, apologize in writing, in an email, or on the phone, or in person, and own up to it. Hey, I'm so sorry I did this. It's unacceptable behavior. Now, how can we make it right? What can I do to make this right for you? So, my friends, I hope you find these tips helpful. You've got permission, rescheduling, the power of completions, which is relating to that, and the power of both forgiveness, and fourth, apology. If you're finding this helpful, please share it with others. Let others know so I can meet other people, let other people know about the work that I do. My name is Ken Coscia. I serve as the lead instructor, international training director, the guy who certifies Silva Instructors. And I've been doing this work since 1971. It is my joy, my passion. And one day, if you'd like more information about the Silva Method, I do what's called the immersion experience of life and intuition system. It's a 4-day training. It is one of the most powerful personal development programs with a strong lean toward awakening and developing intuition. If you'd like to find out more, visit my website, Silva Method of Connecticut, or Silva Method CT. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. It is my hope, it is my desire that you will continue to do good. Make your difference today. Make your contribution to your community, your family, your friends, to the world at large. Have lots of fun while you're doing it, and thrive. Thanks again, guys and gals.